You can change your wife, your politics, your religion, but never can you change your favorite football team. When the seagulls follow the trawler, it is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. When I think football, I think Manchester United. I still support United, and always will. I will die with them in my heart. You may find another Beckham or Ronaldo, but never ever will you find another Sir Alex Ferguson. I don't play against a particular team. I play against the idea of losing my best moment. I have a lot of good moments, but the one I prefer is when I kick the Hooligan. I'm so proud the fans still sing my name. But I fear tomorrow they will stop. I fear it because I love it. And everything you love, you fear you will lose. Sometimes you're fighting corporations and forget that people can talk to each other. Failure's relative. I've always felt, even early on, if I lose the freedom to fail, something's not right about that. It's how you treat failure, too. There's something to learn from it. I've had movies that have failed colossally, so you kind of analyze your failures. What kind of analyze your failures? What kind of failure was it? A failure because it's misunderstood by others. A failure because you misunderstood it yourself. The thing is doing it. That's what it's all about, not in the results of it. After all, what is a risk? It's a risk not to take risks. Otherwise, you can go stale and repeat yourself. I don't feel like a person who takes risks. Yet, there's something within me that must provoke controversy because I find it wherever I go. Anybody who cares about what he does takes risks. After his first training session in heaven, George Best, from his favorite right wing, turned the head of God who was filling in at left back. I would love him to save me a place in his team. George Best, that is, not God. It is enjoyable to make things visible, which are invisible. When people are talking about you, it means that you exist. A good goal is one that is important and beautiful. Whatever happens, there are always things you could have done better. You scored 2 goals, and you usually feel you could have done better. You scored 2 goals, and you usually feel you could have scored a 3rd. That's perfectionism. That's what makes you progress in life. My ancestors were fighters, something I have inherited. I see the world become so uniform. Everybody has to be the same. I like people who are different. Those who hate or disrespect Sir Alex Ferguson, it's only because he snatched away their dreams of winning. The real fans of football come from the working class. Now, they cannot afford to come and watch the game. Ferguson as a manager and Ken as a director are very similar. One's a great manager, the other a great director. But both have a lot of humanity and a lot of humility. They always give you the energy. With Ferguson, when we played a game, it was like it was his first game. He's so passionate and gives you ambition every time. And Ken works the same way. They're very similar. I apologize for nothing. Manchester United is stronger than anybody in the world. When you are a rich man, you are proud to own a Rolls-Royce. And when you are a poor man, You are proud to own a Renault. I am searching for abstract ways of expressing reality. Abstract forms that will enlighten my own mystery. I try to find different ways of expressing myself. Without that, I will die. Often there are players who have only football as a way of expressing themselves and never develop other interests. And when they no longer play football, they no longer do anything. They no longer exist, or rather they have the sensation of no longer existing. We can be eaten by techniques and forget what we have inside of us. He who has regrets cannot look at himself in the mirror. The pressure people put on themselves and the rivalry between the teams is much more marked, and I think that's a good thing. As long as that rivalry remains within the spirit of competition, it can only spur everyone on. I don't care about the past. When times are difficult, I tell myself, I'm just passing through. Children go where they find sincerity and authenticity. Every experience makes you a man. Being French, to me, is first and foremost being a revolutionary. I prefer to play and lose rather than win, because I know in advance I'm going to win. For me, I don't like it when there is too much interference in our lives. We're not children. It is our own life, in our hands. I always wanted to play against the best. I always planned to retire when I was at the top, and at Manchester United, I have reached the pinnacle of my career. We all seem to be about aggression and greed. It's a massive pressure that affects us all. I don't play against any team in particular. I play to fight against defeat. If someone is too perfect, they won't look good. Imperfection is important. Socrates worked towards making people question themselves. He liked to provoke self-interrogation, but wasn't particularly interested in the answers that emerged. He just liked to set off the thought process. I'm just enjoying my life at the moment. Without spontaneity in any sport, you cannot succeed. We knew that you don't get to be world champions without a struggle. If you have only one passion in life, football, and you pursue it to the exclusion of everything else, it becomes very dangerous. It becomes very dangerous. When you stop doing this activity, it is as though you are dying. The death of that activity is a death in itself. Actually, I wanted to act even when I was still playing football. I don't think the world of football is so serious. It's important to have distance about things and about yourself. If we believe we are kings or gods, we become crazy. We all know it's a game, and we all know it's a game, and we all enjoy it together. I'm proud of what I achieved there. But a life built on memories is not much of a life. We all have common frailties, but we need to treasure friends more. It is unacceptable that people often have to make huge sacrifices just to find a place to live, a roof over their heads. I manage a team for beach soccer. I'm the coach. Player, coach.